one of the many people to wake up really, really early and watch the royal wedding live. It was a beautiful scene with a beautiful bride and a beautiful wedding. Kate Middleton looked amazing. She also looked extremely skinny, and it made me start thinking, I might want to get on a diet and maybe lose some weight. So I did some research on the internet to see if she happened to be on a diet, and she did. It was called the Dukan diet. It's very similar to the Atkins diet, and it's a low-carb, high-protein diet. So after being on this diet for a few days, I thought I would try it. I did a little bit of research and found out that low-carb, high-protein diets are not very healthy. They, in fact, are not healthy at all. I've tried these diets, and you might be looking for some way to lose weight or shed a few pounds, and you might want to hear these facts about the Dukan, the Atkins, or a high-protein, low-carb diet. Diets that remove grains and starches, like the Atkins diet and the Dukan diet, are seriously flawed. They remove important food groups that contain important nutrients to keep you healthy day to day. They are connected with cardiovascular problems, including heart disease and certain types of cancer. And they also have other very bad side effects. Now, the Atkins diet was devised by the late Dr. Robert Atkins. It's a high-protein, low-carb diet. Its theory is really quite simple. When you cut out carbs, your body is forced into burning its fat stores to provide it with energy. And as you burn more calories, when your body burns fat, compared with carbohydrates, you'll lose weight more quickly. By cutting out carbs, blood sugar levels remain more stable throughout the day, and so that prevents overeating. There's 4 different phases to this diet, and the Dukan diet is very similar to this, except for the phases are called something different. That's about the only difference. The first phase is called the induction phase. It lasts for about 2 weeks, and you're allowed 20 grams of carbs per day. A normal person eats about 250 grams of carbs a day, so that's a very, very small amount. You also, though, get unlimited amounts of meats and other high-protein foods. The second phase is the ongoing weight loss phase, which is 25 grams a day. Still get the unlimited meats and just a little bit more carbs. Still nothing 10 times less than what we're supposed to be having a day. The third phase is the pre-maintenance phase, which allows you 35 grams of carbs a day. Still unlimited food that's high in protein. The fourth phase is the lifetime phase, which allows you 90 grams a day. And you do this one forever. So ultimately, you are on a low-carb diet forever if you choose to do this. And the 90 grams a day is still 1/3 less than what you're supposed to have for a regularly balanced diet. Now, the first thing that I want to talk to is about the Atkins diet and other high-protein, low-carb diets, removing certain food groups. In the case of the Atkins diet, filling up on high-fat foods needs to be balanced by giving up most carbs, including bread, potatoes, and pasta, rice, chocolate, crisps, biscuits, and cake, even fruit, milk, and some vegetables in the beginning phases. Atkins says that eating too many carbohydrates, especially sugar, white flour, and other refined carbs, leads to blood sugar imbalances, weight gain, and cardiovascular problems. But Atkins even acknowledges that drastically cutting carbs can lead to certain side effects. Dietitian Kelly Glassman says that it's a high-protein, low-carb, very restrictive diet and not something to do for weight loss, and especially not for lifelong health. So phase 4 is supposed to be for your entire life, and it's not good for you. But Frank Sachs, the professor of cardiovascular disease prevention at Harvard, says, this is just another one of those diets invented by a charismatic individual who makes a lot of promises and has loads of testimonials, but is not based on any scientific data whatsoever. There is very little testing done on this Atkins diet. Also, dietitian Juliet Kilo says because so many foods are off limits, the diet can get very boring with the result that many people give up after a short while. So if you are looking for a type of diet that would be easy to maintain, a low-carb, high-protein diet wouldn't be, because you're restricted from a lot of foods that would keep your diet interesting. You would get bored with it. Now the second thing is that it's connected to cardiovascular health. It's connected with heart disease and other forms of cancer. The Mayo Clinic says that some health experts believe that eating large amounts of fat and protein from animal sources, as allowed on the Atkins diet, can increase your risk of heart disease. Dietitian Juliet Kilo says again, nutrition experts are particularly worried that the diet may increase the risk of heart disease as it's potentially very high in fat, especially saturates. She goes on to say that while the company recommends no more than 20% of our calories should come from saturates, this is still twice as much as the recommended amount for a healthy heart. So even though it's saying that you shouldn't have very much saturates, it's still too much for a healthy heart. On top of being connected with heart disease and other cardiovascular problems, it doesn't promote exercising. The Atkins diet says that you only need to do maybe 30 minutes of walking a day. The Duquesne diet says the same thing, but it also tells you to use stairs instead of escalators or elevators. So exercising is not promoted, and is not said in either of the diets that it's something important to losing weight, though it is something that's important for a healthy lifestyle. And no carbohydrates, I know this as a coach, no carbohydrates equals no energy. So if you're not intaking the proper amount of carbohydrates, you'll have no energy to exercise, which is very important to healthy living. The third thing is that there are other very serious and bad side effects. The Mayo Clinic again says the Atkins diet acknowledges that drastically cutting carbs can result in some side effects, including headache, dizziness, weakness, fatigue, and constipation. And again, dietitian Juliet Kilo says unpleasant side effects can occur with the Atkins diet and diets like it. To start with, burning fat results in the production of substances called ketones as your body enters a state called ketosis. This can result in bad breath, tiredness, weakness, dizziness, insomnia, and nausea. So, to restate what we talked about, Atkins diet, the Duquesne diet, and other high-protein, low-carb diets are not good for you for several reasons, because they cut out certain food groups that you need in order to be healthy. They also are related to cardiovascular problems such as heart health, heart disease, and certain types of cancer. And they also have other bad side effects, including ketosis, which itself has a number of bad side effects. So Kate Middleton may look great on television, but I cannot imagine what kind of bad side effects she's having from being on a diet such as the Duquesne diet. The only form of good weight loss and the only healthy type of diet would be a diet that is balanced in the food groups, includes all the food groups so that you get all your nutrients. One that's just very balanced is important for health. Thank you.